Hello, let's play a bunch of daily word games. This is a weekly series where I go through games that have daily versions that you may not have seen before. I have a fixed set of ones that I like to play each week. And then I also have a rotating one where I just kind of decide an extra game to play as the first game. So today's first game is called Couples. And it's something you've probably seen before, but it's got an interesting mechanic to try to help you find the words. But we need to create basically two-word phrases. So cherry something, and then this, and then something art right at the end. So they pair up. So I think this is going to be cherry pie, and we have to figure out the whole thing and then submit. And then pie what? Pie with a G. Pie. Can't think what that would be. Let's go work backwards. Something art. Call art, not call art. What would it be? Cold art. Craft doesn't fit. Huh. Cope art. What is the second letter? Is it CR? Oh, how about clay art? No, I don't think clay art. Like, I don't think you'd say clay art. Huh. So cherry pie, pie with a G. I can't think of one. Like pie crust, pie filling, pie grass. I don't think there's another definition of pie. Wow, this one's tough today. So I'm gonna just try some words here. Let's do pie grass. I don't know what pie grass would be. Is there something better to do? We learn if the letter was correct. I think that's the mechanic. Coke art. Cake art? Maybe it could be a cake art and pound cake and grass. I don't know. Let's see if any of this is right. Okay, so pie was correct. And then it's GRA, pie gravy, these are all wrong. Pie gravy, tough one today. Pie grape, pie grand, pie graft, pie graph maybe? Okay, and then graph. Huh. With a P. Graph. Point. And then point. Core. I don't know. Something's wrong. So it was graph, but it's not point or core. So have one more try. Unfortunately, I didn't get any letters for these two. I'm having a tough time with this one. Okay, pie graph. Graph. Axis. Graph. I don't know, can I figure out this kind of art? It wasn't core art. It wasn't. What did I even try before? I can't remember what I tried first. Cake. I think I tried cake. So it's not an A and it's not an O. Crew art? Crow art? Crap art? Is it CR? Crib art? Graph. I don't know if I can get this. Proud graph. What did I try here? Pound, I think, and I don't remember the other thing I tried. Graph. Point and pound. So I tried an O second both times. Graph. Party. Graph. PL. PR. Graph. I don't know. on a graph, you've got like the axes, you've got the lines, you've got the points, you've got labels, you've got the numbers. Graph pixel, graph. No, I don't know. Unfortunate. Can I figure out the art? Coal art. Is crib art a thing? Or I don't know. It just, I don't know. I'm giving up. What is it? Graph paper. Oh, and then paper clip and clip art. Okay. Unfortunate. I did very poorly on that one. Let's move on. Let's do Dordle. I guess I'll start with paper, because I couldn't think of graph paper. All right, just an E on the left. Let's do all new letters on the right. S, L, N, T are the big ones. Let's do slink. There's an L and an N. We have a little bit more info still on the right side, so let's just move this LN around. Sorry, on the left side we have a little bit more info. So we're going to guess the right one. What am I doing? Like, start with L, end with N. What can I do? We have OU for vowels. We have Y. Nylon? Let's try it. Ooh. Okay, so we start with N. If there's only one word left, then I like to guess it, but we'll see. Feels like there's one word left. So we start with N. Probably end in LY. But then what's the O doing? Nobly? Yeah. All right, so the left word probably ends in EL. It could start with L, though. But then do we repeat the E or do we do a U? Oh, I was thinking Neil, but obviously it's not that. But is there like an EEL word? Not that I can see. We could do UEL. I just don't see a word for that. We could do EEL. How about just level? Nice. Level and nobly. Cool. Let's do Fibble. It has started us off with admit. There's one lie per guess. So one of these colors is lying. Let's bring in the I if we can. So like an A something I. If I can, or I can use the I in the same spot. Alibi might be interesting. All right, so it's doubled down on the I being gray and the A being green. So we don't have any contradictions. So let's use the I again if we can with this L. Could really go anywhere. Just not second. Anvil. I think that works. All right, the A was yellow this time. So we have a contradiction for both of these. So when we have a contradiction like this, that means we're using up one of our lies. So let's look at alibi versus anvil, just because they're next to each other. One of our lies has to be used by the A, which means if I wanted an I in the word, I'd have to have this I lie and one of these I's lie. And then I wouldn't have a lie left for the A's. So there's only one, there's exactly one lie per guess. So that means that there is no I in the word. So we can just mark all those as true. That's what we learned for anvil as well. No, it also means that there has to be an L in the word. Because if I wanted there to be no L in the word, I'd have to have this lie is gray and this lie is gray. And again, there wouldn't be a lie left for the A's. So there is an L in the word. There is an A. I'm going to say that the lie was this A. But then I'd have to use the V and the L in place. Is there another word that does that? I really don't know that there is. EL. I can't use the I. OL. UL. You know, it's possible that both A's were lying and should have been yellow or even gray. Like we could omit the A. That would mean we lied 3 times in a row in the first slot, but it is possible to happen. But maybe we have an A and we just have no V. I'd love to be able to use the V, but is there like a gavel? Unfortunately, gavel doesn't have a lie in anvil. Navel. Navel is good. Okay, so I wanted to use as many letters as possible to find contradictions here. The A's do not contradict. The V's do. The V's contradict. That means the L's have to be true, and it means there is an A in the word. So if there's an A in the word, then, I don't know, maybe starting with A is a good idea. The V was gray this time, so that means there's no N in the word either. So I think that this V being the lie is a completely reasonable guess. So just no V in the word, which would mean that I need to move the A again. Well, I could do like an EA and then end in L, but the problem is I don't have a lie in navel now. So maybe I would do an A here. That's our lie. Maybe an EA and then end in L. Eagle doesn't quite work. I don't know a word that does this. Okay, not that. So if I wanted the A second, it's kind of a problem. I don't have anywhere to put the E. So maybe the lie is we omit the E. Maybe we move the A, omit the E, and just do an AL like this. Or we could even do AL at the end. Surely there's something. Vocal. Oh, vocal is interesting because it moves the... Oh, but that would be the lie. There'll be another lie in navel. Okay, local then. Let's do local. Okay, so I'm thinking the AL is correct. I know the L is, and I'm thinking we need one of these letters. Maybe it's like another O-A-L. Or it could be an L something something A-L. That's kind of limited. It could be a C-A-L. I like the O the best, and the O doesn't have to go there. It could move. In fact, the C could move as well. Shoal. Okay, we're getting close. The lie isn't the S, because if the S was lying, then it would be O-H-S-A-L, which isn't a word. So the S is true. We don't have any contradictions here. Oh, we do have contradiction. The O's contradict. So the A does go here. I mean, is there another H-O-A-L word? I don't see one. So maybe the H is the lie, and we need the O to be here. Zonal, no N. So like an oral, choral, foral, choral. Choral would have the two lies, though, the O and the C. Moral doesn't work because of admit. If the H were correct, I just don't see how. I like OAL. I just can't think of one that actually works. O-W-A-L? O-R-A-L? Choral, moral. No. Oh, loyal? I don't think that works because it's the L and the O lying here. I don't think there's another oil. Opal. No? Ophel? Ogle? What the heck is this? I don't think I can bring in another lie from any of these, can I? Can I start with O? It seems unlikely. Awful. We know these two are true. Is there another like O F something AL or O something FAL? Awful. That's not how you spell awful. Oh, darn. I know this doesn't work. No. Okay. Darn, I thought awful was going to be it. If the O is telling the truth, then I have to bring in one of the F's, and there just isn't a word. So the O here is lying. There's no F. And I'm thinking the O then goes second. I just can't think of the word. It's tempting to guess loyal just to see what happens, but I mean, I know it can't be. So far I've been doing hard mode. Ogle, go, ogle, opal. All right, my last, this is going to be a filler, loyal. Yeah, I have to turn off hard mode. Any day now. There we go. Interesting result. We know the AL is correct. Is there an oil word? Royal. Oh my gosh, how did that take so long? I should have thought of royal instead of loyal. Darn. Okay. Interesting one today. Some crazy lies. The two A's lied in a row, but they were lying and were supposed to be yellow, which is crazy. This V lie is not crazy. This E lie is a little crazy because normally, E is a very common letter. It's like half the words. Then the O lied, and then the H lied, and then the O lied again. This O lied. Yeah, kind of crazy. All right, cool. Let's move on. Betweenle, we will start with royal. All right, we are 6.5% away from the start of the alphabet, 65% away from royal. So is that in B? Let's try really early C just to see, like CA, maybe cause. Okay, yeah, okay. So we're probably like early B. I don't think there's 6.5% of A's, but I should look into that. I guess we'll find out. Let's do basil. Basil, not basil, basil. Ooh. It could be a late A or a really early B. Let's see. Is there like a BAB word? Baby. Babel. That's a proper name. All right, let's try a really late A, like azure. Ah, so we are an early B. Bacon. Okay, we're actually later than bacon. Bagel. I have breakfast on my mind. Okay, I gotta go way farther away. Oh, maybe like BAR then. Or BAP. BAO, BAN. Banal. Keep doing that AL. Oh, banjo. There we go. Oh, banjo's a fun word. Banjo and 8. That's not bad for a word banjo. So yeah, the A's have like a little over 6%, it seems like. Good to know. All right, let's do word 500. We're gonna start with banjo. All red. I love it. Okay, so now we just new word. T, R, L, S are kind of the common letters. Like an E if possible. Maybe an STR word. How about just strip? That's fine. Wow, strip is all red as well. Okay, common letters. We need the L, the E. Second tier is going to be like the H. What are we doing here? CH maybe? C is common as well. I don't know if I can... CHE? Chewy. Okay, one green, one yellow, and chewy. I'm gonna bring in this E. Let's say E is still in the middle. And then maybe... I don't like the H because I can't really combine it with anything. I don't like the Y if we're gonna bring the E in the middle. I don't like the Y because it would have to be yellow. So maybe the C is yellow. Maybe it's like a ECK word. I'm obviously making some guesses here, but you kind of have to in this game. Is fleck a word? Yeah. 3 yellows and fleck. Okay. So I'm going to keep the E, but I'm going to make it yellow. Maybe we do want the Y then. Although the C being green here would make sense with that being yellow. And so now we would need probably not the K. Maybe it's a C. Oh, we can't do CL though. Let's see. C and then maybe an E there. I want to guess cello, even though it can't be. Let's just see if we're on the right track. 2 yellows in cello. So if the E was yellow still and the C, oh, okay. So the C can't be green. So if the E is yellow here and here and here, because it can't be green here. So if there's an E in the word, it's yellow in all of these. And then I would think we'd get a yellow L maybe, but maybe not. So the C can't be in because it would be green here and yellow here. So no C. And then I guess we could end in Y. That seems reasonable actually at this point. And then bring in the L. I mean, we have to kind of. But then it would be, we'd start with L, and then we would end in EY. Is forced in this case. And then we have to use an F or a K as well. Luffy, Lukey. Can't even repeat the E. This doesn't seem to work. So maybe not the Y. So E yellow, E yellow, E yellow. No C. I don't have to use the E, but I feel like I need to. I don't have to, but I need to? I don't know. That doesn't make sense, does it? Then the L would force to be yellow here and yellow here. So we need an F or a K, and then we need an H, W, or Y, green. So would we be... What would we be? So the E could go at the end. It seems reasonable. And then like a U somewhere in the middle. And then we'd have to start with L if we do E at the end. That's a problem. Like what goes after the L? Maybe LU then. And then I still need the F or the K and the H, W, or Y in place. The Y wouldn't be in place in this case. The H wouldn't be in place. So it would be, yeah, this doesn't work. What is going on here? I can't have the O. What if I didn't have an E? I've been assuming we have an E. What if we don't? U would be our only vowel. Maybe we'd end in Y in that case. I still think we have to have the L, at least one L. Because if we have no E, then we need the... And we can't have the C, right? Well, I guess the C could be yellow here in that case. We knew the E couldn't be green, but if the E is gray, or red, then we can make the C yellow. So it'd be yellow through all these. That makes a lot of sense. This would be yellow with that red. So the L would be first or last. We have a C somewhere. And then an H, W, or Y in place. I bet it's lucky. I think it has to be lucky. Nice. Okay. Cool. Lucky. Let's move on to Polygonle. This repeats and this repeats. So if we did ing, that gives us both repeats, and we'd have an ig here. I'd want to do like an L, like a vowel and then an L, like a regaling. Isn't that a word? Regaling. I guess it's not spelled that way. Regaling. Maybe this doesn't work. Okay, another option is like a ings. Nah. Doesn't work. All right. Other endings would be like er, ed, e something. That doesn't really help me though. What if we did like an st start? And then an E, ending in E might be nice. Oh, but the T is in a strange place here. All right. I'm not sure I'm going to be able to mess with this one. So let's just do machine to start with. Just an I and an N. Don't know where they go. So let's do robustly to get the rest of the letters. All right, you got placed. There's an R somewhere. The only vowels we have are this U and this I. So I feel like the I is going to have to repeat. So the I would repeat here. Just have enough vowels to do something. We could still be ing. This would be a G. This would be an R. Figuring. Oops. Okay. Bust the machine doing its work, doing its job. All right. How many options were there? 13 words, not very many. Biscuits, cakewalk, code word. There were several INGs. I should have been able to think of an ING. Lighting. Oh, IGH. TING. Lighting, writing, citing. I wish I'd figured that out. Figuring, I don't know if I was anywhere near figuring out, but I probably could have gotten fighting, lighting, writing, or citing. And that would have helped quite a bit. Especially fighting. All right, let's do the mini. Scoot. That's fun. Oh, Snoop. Oh, spoon. Oh, no, it's not an N. What is it then? I went too fast. Spool, like a spool of thread? No. Not spoon, not spool. Spoof. No. I'm trapped. Spook. Yes, I feel. I don't know if there was another one, but I got there. All right, let's move on to Symble. Make sure I'm on the daily because I did the infinite symbol for today for the bonus game on my New York Times games. But anyway, yeah, this is the daily. So Blaze. Okay, so we assume there's no Z in the word. So we're going to assume that these are the yellows, meaning a different letter goes in that slot. Works differently than Wordle yellows. So I could do like an EL word, like vowel. Ooh, so not E or L. So maybe an A. Oh, wow. You know, it could still be ZE at the end, but we're going to assume no Z still, unless I can. So no EL would mean AB or BA. I really don't like that. Maybe ZE is better. Something like prize. It's not ZE. Wow, hold on. So this has to be the yellow because it's not ZE. So that means I start with an R or an I. Let's start with R, and then the last two letters are not from... Oh, I knew there wouldn't be an E. Sorry, it couldn't have been ZE because I tried the E here. Whoops. Okay, so prize was not a good guess. But anyway, I can't use the E or L or Z, so I need to use the B and the A. A, B, or BA. Roomba? Nice, Roomba. Okay. I include the B as well because usually words don't. If words have a B, it's usually at the start. Like half of words with a B have B at the start, but in this case, Roomba has a B elsewhere. All right, cool. Ah, that was a fun one. Prize was an unfortunate guess. I think I should have thought about BA a bit more, and I could have come up with Roomba. But getting the R from prize to say that that's first, that helped quite a bit as well. All right. Final game is Blind Fusele. We'll start with Rumba, and this twist only tells us about green. So if any of these letters are in the word but not in place, we don't know. Now here I have to repeat a letter. So I'm thinking about doing maybe an AY word, and we can repeat the L. Let's just do route, not R. Let's do Sally. Why not? All right. So there is an A in the word, but it's not here and not here. So maybe in the middle. None of the other letters are in the word. Something like grand seems like a good guess at this point. Ooh, so GRA is correct. Oh, so here I have to guess a word, a longer word, remove all the vowels. So like levitates becomes LVTTS. So I can't actually get the answer, but let's think about what this might be. It might be gravy. No, there's no Y. Could be grave. Could be, oh, any, it could be grape. It could be not grade, grace. So we've got like grape, grace, grave, great. So can I think of a word that uses a lot of these and then remove the vowel? Is there like a patcher, maybe? Ooh, so it's great. No, it's not. Wait. Oh, so this was an alphabetical clue. So there is a T in the word. It's here and not here. So this letter, graft maybe? Yeah, okay. Ooh, I didn't think of graft. Cool. That was a little, I didn't look at what the twist was here because I thought I had the answer. But the twist was that this was, are we close alphabetically per slot? And that's why this didn't show up yellow. All right, cool. Well, those are the games for this video. I hope you enjoyed them. If you did, then why not leave a like, subscribe, and a kind comment below.